All right, we're going to talk about the area of rectangles and parallelograms today. And let me get my little pieces out here. So what is area? Area is how many little squares, here are little squares. It's how many little squares can fit inside, or not inside, how many little squares can fit on a flat surface? Actually, I don't even know if it has to be flat. How many little squares can fit on a surface, a two-dimensional surface? So if I have a nice little kind of square here, and I want to know how many little squares can fit in my square. So this square has an area of 4 little squares. And if it went out bigger, right, if it came out here, well, this rectangle that I just made, it has an area of 8 squares, or 8 square units, or 8 square centimeters, or whatever the width is. So area is how many squares fit on a surface. And it's pretty easy to calculate for the 2 shapes that we're going to be doing today. The area of a square is just base times height. Area of a rectangle is the exact same thing. It's base times height. And the area of a parallelogram is, dun 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 dun, wait for it, base times height. So you need, for these 4-sided objects, we just need to know the base and the height for the most part. That's not true, but for the things, for this section, you just need to know the base and height. So let's look at this. Here's a square. It's 9 kilometers this way, and it's 9 kilometers that way. This is the base. This is the height. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 square kilometers, which means, now, my squares aren't going to be the right size. I don't know. Let's see how close they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So really, if this was 6 by 6, 6 by 6, that would mean there would be 36 square kilometers. But the problem was set up with 9, and my squares aren't the right size for this. But it would mean, though, that we could fit 81 little squares inside of this thing. That's what the area is. There we go, a parallelogram. You're going to like it. Base times height. Base times height. 70. That's it. It means that if I had the correct size little squares, they would have to be 1-inch squares, 1 inch by 1 inch squares. We could somehow fit 70 squares in here. Now, yeah, I understand there are going to be some partial squares. We're going to have to cut off some corners and stuff like that. But we'd then add those corners to other pieces to make full squares. But the overall area of this is 70 square inches. Oh, this is a good one. Base times height equals the area. 7 times P equals 28. Base times height equals 28. What would P have to be to make this work? 7 times what is 28? 7 times 2? No. 7 times 3? No. 7 times 4? Yes. P equals 4. 4 feet. 7-foot base, a 4-foot height, 4 times 7 is 28 feet. There you go. I like that one. That was good. Okay. That was, what was that? Okay.